Okay, I call the meeting to order at 10 p.m. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, GL chapter 38, section 18, and Governor Healy, March 29, 2023 revised order extending remote participation by all members in any meeting of a public body. This meeting at the select board will be conducted both in person and via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information and the general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public, parties with a right and a requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the town's website. For this meeting, members of the public and committee members may attend the meeting in person, or for those who wish to do so remotely. For those who are not in person, every effort will be made to ensure the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. Pursuant to MGL 7C 30A, section 20F, in notifying the chair of the public body, any person may make a video or audio recording of an open session of meeting of a public body, may transmit the meeting through any meeting. Beginning of the meeting, the chair shall inform other attendees of such recordings. This meeting is being recorded by the town of Great Barrington, by the Berkshire Eagle, the Berkshire Edge, and other members of the public. Any member of the public wishing to speak at the meeting must receive permission of the chair. The listing of agenda items are those reasonably anticipated by the chair, which may be discussed at the meeting. Not all items listed may in fact be discussed, and other items not listed may be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by law. Approval of minutes. So let's do these in two parts. Lee, A and B first.
I move that we approve the minutes of March 8th, 2023, the Select Board and Finance Committee joint budget meeting, and the meeting of March 14th, 2023, Select Board Finance Committee joint budget meeting.
Second.
Any discussion?
I'll recuse myself.
That's why I separated. Yeah. All votes tonight, since all select board members are here, will be verbal votes. All in favor?
Aye.
You're unanimous with one refusal. And the next one.
I move that we approve the minutes of September 11th, 2023.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
And unanimous with 5 votes. Select board's announcements, statements. I'll just lead off. Halloween trick or treat hours for this year, as they have been in the past, is Tuesday, October 31st from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. So anyone who is wondering, and we'll get some press releases out on that also. Okay, select board's announcement, statements, Ben.
Nothing for me.
Garfield.
Yeah, I have a couple of things. One, I'd like to see the sign that's saying welcome to GB removed, at least after Indigenous Day, if it's gonna be that long, and then used somewhere proper, like at a speed zone, et cetera. I think people know they're coming to GB at this point.
Okay.
And also, I know they're taking some trees out of it didn't hit me till today, so we love to have our trees. We're removing trees from up at the lake. So I'd love to see trees planted somewhere else.
They will.
Okay.
Yeah. This was a well-known, before you joined the board, in order to make the parking lot larger, that was part of the project. And it was signed off on by the Lake Hansfield Task Force.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they will. Yeah.
Okay.
Good. Nothing at this time. Thank you.
Lee?
Just something really briefly. I wanted to update the board on real estate transfer fee proposal. I was invited by both the Stockbridge Select Board and the West Stockbridge Select Board to speak at their meeting about the real estate transfer fee. They're both considering it. And then following my last meeting with West Stockbridge, the chair of the Lee Select Board was in the audience and has invited me there. I was also invited, because of discussions that we've had on this board, I was invited to Boston this past Friday, a couple days ago, and met with the new Secretary of Housing and Livable Communities. It was a private meeting, and we talked about the upcoming housing bond bill, and also specifically about the real estate transfer fee. So good news is that people are listening, and my intention is to bring a possibly a revised proposal back to this board for further discussion for hopeful inclusion on the town meeting warrant.
Thank you. Licenses and permits. Is someone here from Berkshire South? raise your hand. There we go. So this is the application from Jenna Crandall for Berkshire South Regional Community Center for one-day all alcoholic license on Saturday, October 14th from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. for a fundraising event at 15 Chrissy Road, Great Barrington. You want to just tell us a little bit about who you are and about the event?
That's correct. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. My name is Amanda Leavenworth. I'm the Rentals and Special Events Manager at Berkshire South. We are holding an event called our Toasting and Tasting fundraiser for Berkshire South. It's going to be on October 14th from 5 to 9. The event is a beer and wine tasting fundraiser. There'll be hors d'oeuvres from KJ Nosh with music by Michael Junkins and the Trio, which is a live jazz band. We'll have a silent auction and engaging elements as well. The event is scheduled or is set to be for 21 and older with no kids allowed. We will be checking IDs at the door. The fundraiser is to help raise money for our financial aid program that Berkshire South offers to our members. This program helps low-income individuals and families utilize the center, different programs, as well as our childcare services. Currently, we have Depart Wine, A and B Package and Variety, Higher Bar, which will all be pouring for themselves. And then we have a variety of other locations such as Domainies, Big Elm, Senna Farm, Land of Nod, and Les Trails. I'm so bad at saying it. Les Troyam, that will all be donating different tastings that our TIPS certified staff will be pouring at the event.
Thank you. Do you have a motion?
I make a motion to grant Berkshire South Regional Community Center a one-day all alcoholic license on Saturday, October 14th from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. for their fundraising event at 15 Chrissy Road.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, next we have Great Barrington Rotary Club. Out of an abundance of caution, I'll recuse myself. I'm a proud member of the Rotary Club, and I'll let Lee take this one over.
We have a member of the Rotary Club to speak about the event. Would you like to come up, Mark, please?
So Truck Day, this will be our 15th year of having Truck Day. It's an event, the last several years we have at Butternut. We bring in a lot of big trucks, equipment, fire trucks, buses, cranes, excavators, and we line them all up and the kids get to crawl into them and honk the horns and play around. It's a great event. The day we've got a lot of other activities. Four Mills donates a few of their junk cars and the kids get to paint them. So we have a truck pull where it's really the kids, they pull it with a tug of war rope. We have painting, pumpkin paintings, and at the end we drop a big huge pumpkin from a crane into a kiddie pool. So it's a fun event. Fun for all ages. I love that big equipment myself, and it's a great fundraiser for the Rotary Club, and all the money comes right back into the community.
All right, thank you, Mark. Do I have a motion to grant a temporary Sunday entertainment license on October 13th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. for Truck Day to the Rotary Club at Butternut Ski Area?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Roll call. Ben.
Aye.
Garfield.
Aye.
Eric.
Aye.
And myself as aye. Thank you. Good luck.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mark.
Okay,
Thank you.
Next is a public hearing, a poll petition, work order number 306-11209. Request to install one pole and relocate two poles on Seacock Road, beginning at a point approximately 10 feet southwest of the center line of the intersection of Seacock Road and Alford Road, continuing approximately 182 feet in a southeast direction. Relocate P2 about 25 feet northeast closer to Alford Road. Relocate P3 about 48 feet northeast closer to Alford Road. Install push brace 3-89 on the southwest side of P3. Install P3-15 anchor on the north side of pole 315. Also permission to lay and maintain underground laterals, cables, and wires in the above or intersecting public ways for purpose of making connections with such poles and buildings as each of said petitioners may desire for distributing purposes. A motion to open the public hearing,
I so moved.
Steve, I'm gonna recuse myself.
okay? Do I have a second?
Second,
So I have a motion and a second. These are roll call votes because it's a public hearing, so Ben.
Aye.
Garfield,
aye,
Lee.
Aye.
And I, it's unanimous. Now, do you introduce yourself and explain what I just read?
My name's Adam Young. I'm a design contractor for National Grid. And this petition is for the relocation of 2 poles and the installation of 1 pole at the intersection of Seekonk Road and Alfred. This was just part of a larger reconductor, and we had to move these poles closer to Alfred Road to reduce some tree trimming and environmental reasons. So this was just creating more angles and everything. So that was just the need to relocate the poles.
Thank you. Public comments to speak in favor or opposition? Seeing no public comment. Questions from the select board?
yeah,
Mm.
And we have no comments from other boards. Motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
second,
A motion and a second. Roll call vote.
Aye.
Ben, Garfield,
aye,
Lee.
Aye.
And I. Any discussion from the select board?
nothing,
So a motion oh, there is one.
Mhm.
So motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, Ben?
Aye.
Garfield.
aye,
Lee.
Aye.
And I, it's unanimous. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, new business. Select board to vote to reappoint Eric, you'll just stay out of this. Eric Gabriel, Scott Short, and Scott Short, who's a kind of improvement committee. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to reappoint Eric Gabriel and Scott Short to this time improvement committee.
Do I have a second?
second,
Any discussion? All, yeah, go.
I think I'm gonna recuse myself out of caution since I'm also a member of that board.
So I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
aye,
Aye, it's unanimous. Okay, gentlemen, you join us. The next is select board vote to reappoint Lee Davis as a select board representative. Cindy Schoenfeld is an at-large member and Dale Abrams as an at-large member to the Lake Mansfield Improvement Task Force.
I'm gonna recuse myself.
Okay. Eric, do you have a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to reappoint Lee Davis, select board representative, Cindy Schofield at large, Dale Abrams at large to the Lake Mansfield Improvement Task Force.
Do I have a second?
second,
Any discussion? All in favor?
aye,
It's unanimous. Special town meeting warrant review. There is one change from what was in our packet. This afternoon, the number 2, the authorized tax increment finance agreement was withdrawn by the company that had requested that, so there will be 3 things on the special town meeting index. There'll be 3 things on the special town meeting warrant. Establishment of an 8-town regional school district to be known as the Southern Berkshire Hills Regional School District. The community, in this order also, Community Preservation Act projects, and a citizen's petition concerning the redesign of the Mason Public Library grounds. Is there any questions or comments? Chris, did you have anything to add to this?
No, Steve, thank you. Nothing to add.
If I hear nothing, do I have a motion to approve the warrant?
I make a motion to approve the warrant as amended.
I'll second.
I have a motion, a second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
aye,
It's unanimous. Lee, will you make a motion and read the next petition?
Sure. So moved, a proclamation, Hilda Banks Shapiro Community Day. Whereas Hilda Banks Shapiro dedicated over 50 years serving Great Barrington, as well as many other Berkshire towns in her capacities of volunteerism, local government positions, nonprofit organizations, student and educational institutions, and whereas Hilda, as a single mom, humbly internationally acclaimed concert pianist, fervent activist, prolific writer, poet, selfless volunteer, ardent supporter of nature's preservation, and passionate leader of the arts, she remains an inspirational role for all. And whereas her unwavering commitment to donate countless hours and resources towards the welfare of all people and our natural landscapes have impactful contributions which remain today. And whereas she aged gracefully into her mid-90s and remained a strong, active voice for town, county, and country, inspiring artistic expression through action and deeds to build community. And whereas her admirable ideals and actions are consistent with like-minded men, W.E.B. Du Bois and David Grover, who are currently publicly honored by the town of Great Barrington. We, the people of Berkshire County, request that this extraordinary and exemplary woman be honored by a day in autumn, her favorite season, on the second weekend of October. Now, therefore, Berkshire County can be inspired to celebrate nature, creativity, volunteerism, activism, the arts, creative thinking, and world peace in the spirit of Hilda. The community encourages the select board to acknowledge these contributions by approving this proclamation to allow an annual no-cost Hilda Banks Shapiro Community Day. The witness thereof, we have here set on second day of October 2023.
Have a second. Any discussion? It's very appropriate, so I'm glad we're doing this. All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I came to speak, I guess I don't have to.
You can, you may. I didn't know that's what you were here for. So you absolutely may.
That's what I'm here for. So I wanted to explain about the no cost. So Hilda was very involved with our school from its inception. Berkshire Waldorf School was formerly called the Great Barrington Steiner School. So the school has graciously allowed us to use the space in the auditorium. And what we're envisioning for arts-wise is for anybody from the ages of 3 on up to 100 to have a free venue to come and perform for the first time. Because maybe some of you know that she was the head of the Berkshire Performing Arts years ago, and many esteemed people in our community, like Larry Wallach, are in great debt to her because he performed his first composition during one of those events. And Bettina Montano also credits Berkshire Pulse entirely to Hilda because that's where she first started dancing, going there. So that's what we're envisioning for the art part, but the volunteerism, all that other stuff, we have team goals, and people can come if they want to represent their organization, giving back day, and also plan some kind of thing around the town to clean something, plant trees, whatever it is. So that's why we're envisioning it at no cost.
That's terrific.
Yeah,
That's
for
terrific.
doing that.
Thank you for, thank you.
We're actually doing a second celebration of her life this month on Sunday, the 15th, from 1 to 4:30 for anyone to come to the school, to the auditorium. So we're inviting people to bring their favorite story, picture, poem, music, whatever they want to do. And our singing group, which Hilda was a member for 7 years, Berkshire Sings, is going to perform a concert at 2 o'clock. You're all welcome to come.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so very, very much.
Thank you. Next is,
Hold on.
oh yeah, go right ahead,
Claudia
absolutely.
Shapiro, 78 Lane Road. There are 9 other Shapiros. I'm a little surprised none of them are making a comment or thanking the community for honoring Hilda Banks. But I want to say that there's nobody who is more appreciative and more grateful to the person we call mommy than Claudia Shapiro. So thank you very much.
Sure.
Thank you.
And congratulations.
Yeah.
Great Barrington Housing Authority. I'll explain this. We're gonna confirm the appointment for Maureen Meyer to the Great Barrington Housing Authority. August 2nd, we voted to recommend Maureen for appointment to the Housing Authority. And that was to be as a governor, and still is going to be the governor's representative on the board. Under Mass General Law 120B, it states that if the department, meaning the governor's office, does not fill a vacancy in the position of that member within 120 days from the date of that vacancy is created, the Board of Selectmen, or in our case, the Select Board, shall appoint in writing a person by a majority vote to fill such a vacancy for the unexpired term. So we made the recommendation, there's been no action, so now we're going to make the appointment. So do I have a motion?
I make a motion to appoint Maureen Meyer to the Great Barrington Housing Authority.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous and Maureen, I don't think she's on the line, but she is now officially a member of the Housing Authority. And she could get sworn in. I think they have a meeting this week.
Good luck.
Citizens speak now. Go ahead. Either one.
Claudia Shapiro, 78 Egremont Plain Road, stated for the record. The 2024 Berkshire Regional Planning Commission Regional Transportation Plan Final Draft, effective date October 1st, 2023, states the Walter J. Palazzo Airport, KGBR, Palazzo Great Barrington Regional Airport, is at the time of the writing, the town of Great Barrington is undergoing a special permit review for the airport's continued operation and continued use. I have since February been requesting a decision for a Palazzo Great Barrington Regional Airport to be denied by Mr. Brzezinski and the Assistant Town Manager, Director of Planning and Community Development, Mr. Remble. I'm submitting a Mass Public Records request, Chapter 66, Section 10, and CMR 95032 for that decision for Palazzo Great Barrington Regional Airport. 2, I'm submitting a Mass Public Records request, Chapter 66, Section 10, and CMR 95032 for the required airport layout plan, ALP, for a Walter J. Palazzo Airport, KGBR, Palazzo Great Barrington Regional. I'm submitting a Mass Public Records request, Chapter 66, Section 10, and CMR 95032 for the report the airport is to file with Town Manager Mr. Brzezinski 6 months after receiving April special permits, documented in the 18 pages posing as a decision I received via email for Mr. Brzezinski and Assistant Town Manager, Director of Planning and Community Development, Mr. Remble. I'm submitting a Mass Public Records request, Chapter 66, Section 10, and CMR 95032 for the airport building permit for the construction of an additional hangar cited in the Berkshire Regional Planning Commission Regional Transportation Plan and or any airport building permit issued since January 2023. I'm submitting a Mass Public Records request, Chapter 66, Section 10, and CMR 95032 for copies of all airport phase proposals. I'm submitting a copy of the March 25th, 2013 proposed Phase 1 drawing submitted in the airport's May 23rd, 2013 special permit applications of a terminal building. I'm submitting a Mass Public Records request, Chapter 66, Section 10, and CMR 95032 for the description, details, and plans of the Berkshire Regional Planning Commission Regional Transportation Plan recommended project for a Walter J. Palazzo rehabilitation of runway, estimated cost $3,232,000. I'm submitting a photo of the end of runway 11 located on 70 Egremont Plain Road, property I own, painstakingly maintained and controlled, something the town of Great Barrington, and despite my pleadings with Town Manager Mr. Brzezinski and the Assistant Town Manager, Director of Planning and Community Development, Mr. Remble, refused to acknowledge, accept, or respect during this entire flawed airport permitting process. I'm submitting a copy of the August 1st, 2014 no trespass notice sent by Berkshire Aviation Incorporated via first-class certified mail and to the Great Barrington Police Station to stay off airport property. I abide by. I'm submitting a copy of the Berkshire Regional Planning Commission Transportation Plan pertaining to a Walter J. Palazzo Airport, KGBR, Palazzo Great Barrington Regional. And as you are aware, I currently have a records request to the town dated September 27, requesting any and all citizens' petitions submitted in relation to the upcoming 8-town regional school merger special town meeting, tentatively scheduled for October 23rd, 2023. I'm submitting in conjunction with that request plaintiff Holly Hamer, Ann Fredericks, and Attorney Fasco's land court prayer for release requesting that as a matter of law, the airport's expansion, extension, and enlargement requires further municipal approval. Thank you. I actually wanted to submit this, hand it personally to, the town manager, so
I will
I
do.
trust, thank you.
Thank you. Michelle?
Michelle O'Hare, 70 Division Street. First off, I think it's great you're honoring Hilda. My daughter went to school at Southern Berkshire Regional School District, and Hilda practically lived there, playing the piano for the drama group. And she was the grandma to almost all the students down there, and inspired my daughter to go into the arts, who now works for the American Repertory Theater at Harvard. So Hilda really influenced a lot of people in a very positive way. Secondly, I'd like to thank the select board for your presentation at the Housatonic Water meeting. It was really impressive, and just from me, I wish to thank you for that. My other question is, there was discussion on short-term rentals, how many short-term rentals had actually been registered. And there was a process to kind of impress upon people they have to register. I was hoping that maybe at an upcoming select board meeting, maybe an update could be given on that.
We could do that.
Okay, thank you. And also I had on September 11th, and I think September 18th, I requested information regarding, the law as it pertains to crosswalks about the Division Street Bridge. I just received that and was only able to, if you see, I marked it up. I still have some questions about it, but I want to study it more closely. But there was some misinformation in the packet. There was a conversation between someone from Ty and Bond and Joe Aberdale, kind of smirking at my comment regarding a small car that threw the guardrail. Well, that comment came from November 21st meeting, and I watched it because I was sure I said what I thought I said, and I said a small child could fall where the opening is. And actually that question would have been resolved if several times I've said, anybody who wants to meet me there so I can point it out, I can do it. And by the way, I'm off October 6th, if anybody wants to meet me there. The next, this is really uncomfortable bringing up the next issue, because this is the way this board is run, is very respectful. And I've noticed some other boards trying to, do better. We all can do better, and some of the boards are trying to do better. However, I tuned in on a meeting September 27th with the Housing Subcommittee. I was so angry by what I heard, I couldn't even speak at Citizen Speak, and that tells you something. Comments were made regarding the real estate transfer fee, and I'm bringing it up because Garfield, you're on that committee, and Lee, you're on that committee. And it was said during the meeting that if people don't support the real estate transfer fee, they don't support affordable housing, which isn't true. And that comment, I think, was made by Malcolm Beck. And Lee, you said, absolutely, that's a really good point, Malcolm. I was just shocked by that. Additionally, it was said that no one made any suggestions. Said, well, if people don't like the real estate transfer fee, why aren't they making suggestions? And by the way, I listened to the meeting 2 or 3 times. But I'm holding the minutes of the public hearing of the real estate transfer fee, August 29th. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 speakers who offered suggestions. So I think the housing subcommittee should apologize to the public. I know I put a lot of work in my study of the real estate transfer fee. And it reminded me of a group of children at the table. Well, if we're not going to get our way, then we're not going to play with you. And it's just the wrong way. If you want people on your side, that was the wrong way to do it. And Garfield, I emailed you during the meeting. And I said, Garfield, what I heard tonight is so unfair, saying that no one made any suggestions as to how to assist affordable housing with a question mark. Several people did at the public hearing, myself included, as well as Phil Orenstein, chair of the finance committee. And to say if we don't agree with the real estate transfer fee, we don't support affordable housing, question mark. this committee is way off point and arrogant. Maybe this type of position is why your committee doesn't have support. So think about it and think about apologizing to the public.
May I ask you, Lucia, did you just send that to me because you wanted me to be aware of
I
that?
sent
I
it
don't think
to-
I made that statement. I don't think it
I
was.
sent it to garfieldfree.gb@gmail.com, and it was at 6:01 the night of the meeting.
Next person speak. I see no one online, so I'm taking person.
Hi, Donna Jacobs, 260 Park Street. I think I'm speaking for a lot of people who heard your comments, Steve, on the DPU hearing, and were so emboldened and felt so supported and so backed by the select board here, you know, and we didn't know what you guys are thinking or feeling. To come out with those thoughts and those opinions was a real shot in the arm. And we feel very grateful for your support on that. And I think we want to support you also because it is all a two-way street. So it leads me to the second point, which is the relief fund, the $250,000 relief fund.
Yes,
The last time I was here, I said, we don't have our receipts. How are we going to administer, you know, distribution of the relief fund? And I understand that there are problems with just writing Housatonic Waterworks ratepayers a check. Can't do that. There is a anti-aid amendment. We don't just give people government money because they might take the money and go spend it on things that would not be good for their health, drugs, alcohol. I'm not sure what it's about. But we might consider, it was suggested to me, a community block program and give the relief to income qualifiers who can produce proof of income is under $100,000 for a family of 4. And they would be eligible for subsidized housing, I think, I've been told, but they would also be eligible for distribution of the relief for the Housatonic Waterworks. But that's to show income eligibility. I'm just trying to think of ways to get the money, you know, out to the people who need it, and also to reinforce that the town, it really wants to help the situation and make it better. Thanks.
Hi, Kathy Regan from Street and Housatonic, and I want to reiterate, say the same thing for many people in town. Thank you so much for everything that you did at the hearing. That's greatly appreciated. But again, I speak for many of the people, I've been talking to many people in town, and we know there's still, it's wonderful that that meeting turned out so well. Many people spoke, but it's so much more than just a rate problem. And I think people still feel, you know, I know this isn't like a Q&A where you can answer my questions. So even though I'm going to ask questions, I don't expect an answer. But I would appreciate, I'm going to follow up with an email to appreciate some guidance about how we can get some of these other questions addressed. One thing is the water testing. We've had a few local residents do water testing in town that showed quite different test results. They were much higher in HAA levels. And even though the testing is done quarterly, I think we all know logically that we may already have high HAA levels in the water now. I mean, so I think we need more regular testing. And most importantly, we need, you know, it's kind of like the fox guarding the hen house. We need water testing done without conflict of interest. Somebody that's not doing the testing, you know, in their own way with, and analyzing the testing, we need a third party to do that. So we as residents want to find out a way that that can be done. It's very expensive. I think to have it properly, you know, accepted by the DEP, that has to be, you have to have somebody come from the DEP tested lab, you know, an actual person has to come on site and do that. It'd be very costly. So we want to find out how we might be able to get some support from town or otherwise too. And I don't think it's unreasonable to ask for, you know, third party testing. And then we can really see what's happening. It needs to be done more often, and we have to see if the testing has been done is on target. That would be very informative and helpful for all of us. Another thing that's been bugging me personally was the manganese. A lot of it did not make sense. And I looked at the report. I'm not an expert, but I kind of looked at the report. I also assessed, well, there's many factors that I brought into it, but I brought this up with Andy Behrens. And we went over this together. He's, you know, quite an intelligent man. He's got a pretty good background career-wise in medicine and finance. But he did write into you, Steve, about his concerns about that, and we went over that in detail, talking about it, the residents and I, and we really think there's something that needs to be addressed there. So how can we go about, and I know you can't answer me now, but how can we go about getting a statistician, somebody, again, somebody outside to be able to really analyze this and see where we are with that? Because I don't think it's on track, I really don't. I think we have more of an infrastructure problem than we do a manganese problem. So, and the DEP personally admitted to me when I was talking to them on the phone that any suggestions that have been approved are purely experimental. They have no idea if it'll work, it's a guess, been presented, so all this money could go in, not that we think there should be any raise of funds, but who's ever spending the money, it could go into these systems and make absolutely no improvement. I think many of the citizens still feel very strongly that, you know, the situation needs to be taken over by the town or the state. We don't, personally, I know I don't have enough understanding about the mechanics of that and what's, you know, how we would even support that process or request that process. But it would be great if we could get a little bit more information. We know you had a closed meeting. We know that there's reasons for that information to be kept private, but anything that can be shared with residents would be extremely helpful. If we had a way of getting more updates about what's happening, that would be very helpful. Last thing is, even though again, the HAA 5 levels are lower right now, supposedly, but again, we don't know what's happening today. But the Board of Health, we feel, has kind of let the residents down about the proper notification. I said this last time, but many residents have absolutely no idea that these acids can be dermally absorbed as well as inhaled. So we feel like that, you know, there needs to be more connection with the community to make people aware of how they can protect themselves adequately. And even if they do purchase filters, are they buying the right filter? You know, and are they taking the correct precautions? So we don't know. I mean, I've never been in politics too much at all, only just starting to go to town meetings and kind of analyzing what's happening here. So we don't know if you have any jurisdiction over the health department or not, or, you know, how that works. But we just know that any interaction that we've had with them before, it doesn't seem like anything happens. So, you know, again, we're going to follow up by email, but if we can get any guidance about how we can keep carrying this through, so it doesn't just get dropped like, you know, it has in the past. Everybody's been working on this for so long, but look how many years have passed and nothing's changing. So any guidance that you could give us, that would be so much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. James? Go ahead.
Good evening, Select Board. This is James Garzone, 84 North Plain, squeaky wheel. I wasn't going to speak tonight, but hearing Michelle's comment, I felt obligated to speak. First, I wanted to state that Michelle and I had no conversation regarding the previous meeting that happened last week, but it was enlightening because she had exactly the same comments that I had regarding the subcommittee conversation. You know, it bothered me as well, which I communicated with you all about the comments. It's nothing's going to change regardless of what I say, and I said this already. But apparently, I'm not the only one who feels the same as I do. So I just wanted to state that Michelle and I had zero communication regarding the meeting, but apparently she had the same exact view as I did. If comments that are said during select board meetings or other meetings are not going to be taken because, as it was noted on the call, more negatives will be spoken than positives, then that's why we probably shouldn't speak, because people will make their decisions on the select board committees or regardless of what we say. And as it was stated on the call, let's get these articles to the town so we can vote on them, so the citizens can vote on them, which bothers me because, as I've said, it's unfair the way the articles are presented, where the citizens petitions that will go against the select board or other committee articles are the bottom. And I'm stuck in my words right now because I'm kind of bothered, and I apologize for stuttering. I'm better at writing than I am at speaking. And I already made my comments and I'll leave it at that, but I just want to make it clear, Michelle and I had zero communication regarding the last week's meeting, and we had the exact same feelings about the call. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? James, your hand's back up. I think that's an accident, so we'll move ahead. Anyone else? I see no other public comment. Selectboard time. Ben,
Nothing for me.
Garfield,
Uh,
Eric,
Nothing at this time, thank you.
Lee,
Nothing at this time.
and I, nothing. Anything from the media? By unanimous consent, we are adjourned. Thank you very much.